Okay, I have to say it right now. Sony just had a really great show that I truly enjoyed. During the show, I was excited, I was pumped, and I really liked almost all the games that were shown. I felt they were trying to push the next generation narrative a little bit more. But once the dust settled and the show was over, we all found out just how sly and tricky the show really was. It's one of the best smoke and mirror strategies I've seen a company do in a really long time. And as a gamer, I have to inform every single one of you what exactly Sony did to promote their PS5 console. Was it something that people should be angry about? Yes, it is, because it would seem that Sony really showed a lot of games that we can presumably only play on the PlayStation 5. The whole show focused on the PS5 and only the PS5. But most of the games we saw will be playable on the PS4 consoles, which if you paid attention to anyone that doesn't know what they're talking about, it will hold gaming back because the developers have to make a game for older hardware, which hinders them. Well, this entire show that Sony had was held back apparently, and it holds back gaming. Stupid, right? When in reality, this was something I asked for. This was something that a lot of gamers asked for. A lot of the games that Sony is making isn't truly next generation, and they belong on not only the PS5, but also the PS4. Which from what we learned after the show is exactly what's going to happen. So let's get into the showcase and talk about each game that interests me and which announcements stood out to me, because so far I found the show to be really good, but there was a lot of information after the fact that made the show look like a giant lie to gamers. But at least we got the price and the release date of the PS5 consoles, and that's one of the main reasons for the show, right? But we must talk about everything else that shows what Sony had in store for us gamers, next generation, and for the PS5. So let's get into it. But like always, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so I want to point out that once the show was over, I posted this tweet because I truly did enjoy the show, and I thought Sony came out to compete with Xbox and truly showed a lot of great games that will only be done on the PS5. But as the news broke and media types started revealing more of the show and what exactly most of the games and information meant, the show went down a few notches and honestly showed that Sony wasn't being honest with gamers. But let's talk about the main highlights of the show first, because there's a lot to go over. First up, because I know a lot of people want to know about this, let's talk about the price and the release date along with the pre-order date. Sony announced during the show that the PS5 disc version of the console will be $499. I have to say, that's a pretty solid price, but again, it's not good enough for me considering the Xbox Series X is the same exact price. If I had to choose which console to go with, it would be the far more powerful console for the same price. That's the insane value for the Xbox Series X. But Sony also announced the $399 price point for the all-digital edition of the PS5. Now that's a pretty solid deal if you ask me, and something I'll be buying day one since I truly am almost 100% digital with my games along with other forms of media. And while the price of the consoles is pretty standard to what insiders and leakers said it would be, that still leaves us with the release date of November 12th, which is just 2 days after the Xbox Series X and S launch. Talk about competition. I have to admit, I love the head-to-head strategy that Xbox and Sony decided to go with, because that will only pay out for us gamers who will have two multi-billion-dollar companies competing for our money. Oh, and did I mention that the pre-orders for the PS5 will go live tomorrow at select retailers? Sony announced this after the show for some reason, only on Twitter. I feel like that's something they should have had on the showcase, but whatever, maybe they recorded this a few months ago. Oh, and by the way, did I mention Sony slyly raised the price of the Sony first-party games from $60 to $70? As you can see right here with this tweet and write-up, now this actually annoyed me a lot because Sony and all the other gaming companies make a lot of money already. So I don't understand why they would raise the prices of games, especially since most of the games they showed are going to be on the PS4 for $60 anyways. But if you want the PS5 version, you have to pay extra? I'm not too sure. I need more details on this. I need more details about this, but I'll give you a little hint about how I feel with this price hike. Here's what insider Daniel Ahmad had to say on Twitter. Sony marketing after pricing PS5 first-party games at $70 for the payers. I couldn't agree more, because I'm sorry, if we're going to jack up the price of the games, then you better make sure you have a good reason, especially since Xbox is providing all first-party games day and date on the best service in gaming with Xbox Game Pass. You understand that, people? Not only do you get Xbox first-party games day and date, but we also get great third-party games and huge AAA games from EA Play on a single service. All the while, Sony is overcharging gamers $70 for every Sony exclusive, and they didn't even announce it over the show. Instead, they put it in a blog post and buried it so they don't get bad publicity. That to me is a joke, and they should be transparent and honest with gamers, much like Xbox has been for years now. But now let's get into the games and what stood out to me, because that's what this is all about. It's the games. First up is Final Fantasy, the console exclusive game that kicked off the show. Was it some huge get for Sony like everyone is saying? Sure, but personally, I really don't care about this franchise, and I never really enjoyed the Final Fantasy games since I was a little kid. So while I know how big of a deal this franchise is for a lot of gamers, I truly don't see the appeal, and if this was one of the big third-party exclusive purchases Sony got, I would say I'm okay with it, because I wouldn't play this game even if it was on Xbox. But again, I understand the appeal and I understand why people love it. Next up has to be Spider-Man Miles Morales, that had a massive gameplay showing and really made the game look amazing. This game was one of the main reasons I was buying a PS5 day one, especially since Sony hyped this up as a PS5 game and only advertised it as such. But again, that wasn't true, and once the show was over, we got the truth. Insomniac Games, the creators of the Spider-Man games, posted this. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales will be launching on November 12th and November 19th along PS5, and guess what? We're releasing the game on PS4 as well. Now, as someone that wants this to happen, I do have to say the smoke and mirror strategy striked again. Because not only did the showcase make it seem like this game was a PS5 exclusive, it also made it seem for months that this was only possible on the PS5 console. I mean, Insomniac Games talked about having features on this that were only done on next generation consoles, when in reality, technical people that understood this type of thing fought against it. Well, I'm glad we won, because this game does belong on the PS4 and it's great to see, especially since people that have PS4s and played the first Spider-Man game by Insomniac, they're not forced to buy a PS5 and upgrade just to play what would seem like a DLC game. Next up is the third-party games from Warner Brothers. The Harry Potter game looks insane. As a huge Harry Potter fan, I'll be playing this game day one, and it's one of those games I can't wait for. I heard about this game over 2 years ago, and it's still something we know nothing about. But after seeing this gameplay and the scissor reel of the game, I truly can't wait. It looks expansive, and it looks like a game that's in-depth, and we can get into the massive world of Harry Potter. So expect this game to get a lot of attention as the release date comes closer and closer next year in 2021. Now we move on to Demon's Souls, which is one of the best looking games at the show, but also one of the most confusing. So first of all, the game looks insane, and it looks like a lot of fun for gamers that like the Dragon Souls-esque type of game. It has some amazing graphics, animations, and it looks like a game that will sell a lot of PS5s, especially since it's a launch title for the console. But now let's move on to the confusing part of the game, which if you look at this picture from the show, you can see that the game isn't a console exclusive and that it might come to PC, but again, another media outlet says it's a PS5 console exclusive, so now we don't know what system this game is going to be on. Here we go again with the smoke and mirrors and the lack of transparency to their fans. Sony, clean this up, just tell us where the game is going to be so we can find out where we can play it. That's all we want to know. But now comes the biggest announcement for me, which is the God of War Ragnarok teaser trailer at the end of the show. This is something that everyone knew was coming, and it's a game that everyone, and I mean everyone, is waiting for. God of War is such a great game and one of my favorite games of all time. I can't wait to play this game, let alone see gameplay of it. And the surprise announcement is the 2021 release date, which again, I have a feeling won't happen, especially since the game is so detailed and so massive. I have a feeling that this game will be an early 2022 game, but again, if it comes out in 2021, I'll be happy and jumping all over the place, because I just want to play this game, and God of War is one of my favorite games of all time. And those are the games that really stood out to me. Now, I know there's Resident Evil Village and a bunch of third-party games like Call of Duty. All those games are great, but again, I'll be playing those games on the more powerful console, the Xbox Series X, or even PC, because I enjoy playing on PC also. So for me, it's all about the exclusive games for Sony, and from what I've seen, there isn't going to be a massive reason for a lot of gamers to upgrade from the PS4 Pro or the PS4. As for me, I'll be getting a Series X and a PS5 day one, because I want the peak performance when I play my games. Let's hope that the PS5 marketing team starts being a little more transparent, because so far, I'm just annoyed with the whole marketing strategy. Because it's mixed messaging, and it's something that Sony hasn't been known for. But in reality, they're going back on their word from what they said a couple of years ago, or even a couple of months ago. Sony said they'll be a more traditional console, and that they'll try to push the PS5 hardware even further. When in reality, they haven't done that at all. So while this showcase was amazing, and it had some great moments, the aftermath of everything brought the whole show down. The tweets, the constant rollbacks, the constant lies. It was a little weird, and it honestly such a jarring juxtaposition compared to Xbox that has been completely transparent and honest with its fans. Let's hope Sony starts to do that and helps us understand what they're truly trying to do next generation. Because like always, I want great competition, but I also want to be informed on my purchase decisions. I'm informed on Xbox's side, I know exactly what I'm getting with that ecosystem, so I really hope that Sony starts being just as transparent, because that's all I want. But enough of what I think about this, tell me what you think about all of this. Are you happy with the PS5 showcase? Do you like the price of the PS5? Did Sony lie to their customers? What console do you want more, the Xbox Series X or the PS5? What games interest you most from the showcase? Are you mad that the PS5 is held back? Are you surprised Sony is supporting the PS4 for over a year after the PS5 launches? Did Sony do enough to overtake the Xbox hype that has built up the last several months? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I'm playing Marvel's Avengers, Company of Heroes, Fall Guys, golfing with friends. I'm playing a bunch of games, and I'm also testing out xCloud. It is a lot of fun. Since they launched it, I've played it at my sister's house. I've played it everywhere, and it's been pretty flawless. I think that thing is going to blow up. I was playing Xbox games, just hanging out with Game Pass, with a controller and my phone. It was flawless. I had a lot of fun with it. But tell me what you're playing. Are you working through your backlog, or are you waiting for these new games to come out, or are you playing Marvel's Avenger? Go down below and let me know. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.